Good evening, all. It is, what is it, Sunday the 21st of November. Just a few days away from Thanksgiving. And still redneck with a few thoughts on this crazy world and the circumstances, things that are going on, and my humble opinion of it. If you're interested. If not, you won't watch it. But I gotta get it out of my head. First off, you got all this politics, bickering back and forth, this COVID crap, and everybody wanting this, that, and the other, handed to them for nothing. They deserve this, that, and the other. Simply because, oh my God, they're breathing or something like that. I don't understand half of it. But we'll start off with these mandates. They're trying to, in my opinion, they're trying to take, well, let's go out here in California. If you're not vaccinated and can't prove vaccination, you're not allowed in a restaurant, concerts, anything else. You're basically being shunned, treated like unclean, unhuman, all that. Oh, you're allowed to go to work, you're allowed to go buy groceries and all that, but that's about all you're allowed to do. It hasn't gotten to the point to where the police are stopping here in the United States like they are in Austria and all that, and checking vaccination status. But Austria and Germany are doing that. If you're unvaccinated, they're locking you in. You're locked in your apartments unless you have to go to work or to the store, and then you're allowed back into your apartment. That's about it. They can stop anybody at any time and say, okay, we want to see your papers, your vaccination papers. I don't know about anybody else. If anybody out there studied history, but in Austria and Germany, isn't that how the Nazis started? With the Jews? Treating them like unclean or whatever. Now here in my neck of the woods out here in liberal California, if you say anything against the vaccination, like on any social media, you're immediately shunned, beat up, cussed at, everything else, how you don't care about the human race and all that. Does anybody remember the time when you were allowed to have a differing opinion and you were allowed to talk about it? I guess they quit teaching that in schools out here, I guess. But we'll get through it. Politics, same old bullshit. You got the Democrats trying to push through their communist agenda and all that. Republicans trying to act tough. We don't know if they're going to make it or not, but we'll see. I do know lately, with all the things going on around in the world, that lately a lot of Democrats are deciding we're not running anymore. We're retiring. We're getting out of this rat race. Makes you wonder why. They realize their house of cards is about to fall. Maybe they realize they've pushed the American people too far. Possibly. And then you got the media. Oh my God. Does anybody remember the media used to be fair and equal? Look at just the facts, not put their own speculation into it. Yeah, can't find one nowadays. Yeah. Let's get to the high point of the week. Wisconsin. You got that Kyle Rittenhouse, 17-year-old kid, went to try to help people protect property in Kenosha last year during the riots. There'd been 2 days of riots, buildings, burnings, all that. he went to try to help. He got on trial because he shot 2 people, wounded a 3rd one. Now, I've read some reports from the European countries, and they're saying he shot 2 black men. That's been going around the world that he shot 2 black men during a Black Lives Matter protest. Well, if the news and the mainstream journalists had reported it correctly, they would have reported he shot 2 white guys and wounded a 3rd one. And the white guys had beat him with a skateboard, were chasing him, trying to take his gun away from him, and pulling a gun on him before he even shot. This kid showed up there with a 30-round mag. With the cops, he turned the gun over to the cops. He still had 22 rounds in it. Now, does that strike you as a guy that went there planning on murder and mayhem, just shooting randomly? Not to me. But he had a trial. Jury deliberated and acquitted him. Now all hell's going to break loose. Everybody's saying that the judge was crooked, blah, blah, blah. I watched part of that trial, and the prosecutor shot his own self in the foot. His own witnesses were turning against him. But now we got protests all over the country about it. Now, he's a white supremacist. Thanks, Joe Biden, for saying that. Even though he's not. You know, he's a 17-year-old kid. Should he have been there? Probably not. But he was. Well, he got acquitted. Everybody's going nuts. Out here in San Francisco Bay Area, people are using those protests as a reason to, oh my God, I'm offended. Let's break into a Louis Vuitton luggage store, bag store, and rip off $100,000 worth of stuff or whatever. 70, 80 people did that. They're climbing shelves, pulling bags off the shelf, jumping in cars, and taking off. Last night, they did the same thing at a Neiman Marcus store in a town about 30 miles away from San Francisco. Armed with crowbars, weapons, all that. Chicago, they did the same thing. I heard there was a protest in New York. I didn't hear of any major problems there. Portland, of course, they decided to set things on fire. That's all Portland knows how to do. We're upset. The law didn't go our way. The verdict didn't go our way. Oh, we're going to burn things down. Then you got all these so-called sports stars. I guess they're now political pundits. Like Colin Kaepernick and all that, how it's all a matter of white supremacy. Joy Reid, it's all a continuation of white supremacy. Everybody and their brothers trying to say that. It has nothing to do with white supremacy. The evidence was put forth. The case was clear. It was self-defense. Deal with it. It didn't matter if the kid was white or black. I don't care what you think was going to happen if he was black. If the same evidence was put forward, the same video evidence was put forward, the black kid would have been acquitted too, in my opinion, because I have faith in the system. But then, I'm a white guy, so, my white privilege and all that crap, supposedly. I just like to know, I have no problem, and I've said this before, about people protesting, chanting, marching up and down the street, trying to get their point across, blah, 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 blah. But what the hell right do you have to break into a business, rob them blind, and do it in the name of a protest? Or is it just an excuse to show how ignorant and stupid you are? You think you're taking advantage of the fact that you have to wear a mask and hoodies is going to get you by? Have any of you people realized the gains they've made in facial recognition And a lot of the people I saw in the Louis Vuitton store video, they may have had their face and heads covered, but their hands weren't. Does anybody see what's on those tips of those fingers? It's called fingerprints. If any of those people have been arrested for anything, it's going to show up in the fingerprints. I mean, if you're going to be a crook, if you're going to be a thug, you got to at least put some brains into it. You know, in my opinion. I'm not saying they need to get smarter, but then let's keep on going down this road. Along with the same mental wizardry these people are showing, you got these idiots out here in California doing these sideshows. You know, they got these souped up cars, they're spinning around doing donuts in the busy intersections and all that, almost running people over and all that crap. And shooting guns off in the air and at people and all this stuff. Well, a whole lot of kids are getting hit through stray bullets going through houses. That's real smart. You're a real tough guy. You know? Every one of these people ought to be put in a deep, dark cell and left there. You know, they're a bane on society, and these damn DAs and these mayors that are allowing this crap to happen in their cities need to be thrown out of office. Because you're all trying to be more liberal and diverse. And, oh, well, it's not their fault. They needed it more than anybody else. Bullshit. They're fucking thieves. Then we'll get to what happened tonight. We'll go back to the great state of Wisconsin. I think it was the city of Waukesha. Was having themselves a Christmas parade. You know, people remember what a parade is. You got families and kids out there watching the pretty floats and all the decorations and laughing and cheering and having a good old time for the holidays. You know, everybody's trying to get in the spirit with all this bad shit that's been happening around the world. You know, the pandemic, you know, Russia, Iran, China, everybody talking war. Immigrants coming across the border unchecked. Can't find them, can't stop them. Biden sitting on his ass going, I remember when I was doing this. Don't you remember when I was a lifeguard? Kamala Harris goes, you know? And you got some idiot, I guess had a bone to pick with somebody, takes his big SUV and goes driving down the street right next to the parade at about 30 miles an hour, blows through a barricade, runs over about 20, 30 people. Happy fucking holidays, people. All I gotta say to all these people that are killing these goddamn kids, they're sitting in watching parades, sitting in their bedroom playing their Game Boy or their PlayStations or doing their homework, that are getting killed. What the hell did those kids ever do to you? Swear to God, your mama should have taken you back behind the woodshed, just beat the tar out of you many times. And I don't give a shit if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. Wrong is wrong. If that was your kid, you'd be pissed all to hell. I know somebody gets one of my children or my grandchildren like that, I'll turn vigilante and I'll just start shooting everybody. Any thug I see, I'd put a bullet in their head. Probably double tap it. One less thing for the courts to let out. It's time we get back on the right track, people. Oh, then I read this article how they're trying to say that Thanksgiving's name should be changed to a day of mourning because it's genocide. Give me a fucking break, people. Take your liberal science, your communist attitude, and put it where the sun don't shine, because it don't belong here in the good old US of A. Now, if you don't like my comments, tell me so. I don't care, but you can tell me. You know? I just wish to hell people would grow the hell up. The people who are getting fed up with this would stand up and put a stop to it. Or better yet, maybe our law enforcement should grow a backbone and tell the mayors we're going to do our job that we were sworn oath to do instead of listening to you. You know? Leave the politics out of the law enforcement. Start enforcing laws on the books instead of tying their hands. Let's clean up the streets. Let's get our kids back on the right track. Reading, writing, arithmetic, everybody treated equal. That's what this country's about. Well, that's my rant for tonight. That's the old redneck. I wish everybody a very happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, and next month, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And if that's offending people, too bad. You know, to all my veterans, I wish you well. I salute you. Welcome home. To anybody looking to hire a vet. Give them a hand up, not a handout. If you want to leave a comment, leave it below. You want to send me an email, send it to redneckrebel1956 at gmail.com. You know, I wish you all well. And if YouTube wants to bounce me, they can. There's always other social media I can go to. You know, I think it's called Rumble. Y'all have a good evening. You old redneck out. I'm back to drinking my beer and see what other trouble I can think of. Bye.